Hi team! So I've recorded a little video yoga series for us so that we can accompany a yoga practice while we're at home, self-isolating, quarantining, social distancing, everything. So this video I've just done here is a little kind of intro on kind of what it's all about and what it's good for, and I'll just be covering the different parts of the sequence, the different elements of the sequence, just to kind of introduce them mentally before we do them physically. So that's what this little video is for. So the first thing that we'll be covering when we start is what our starting position should be. So we'll be looking at where the feet are going to be. So we're going to be standing with our feet together and touching. So it's quite handy when I say feet together and touching, have a look down, just make sure your feet are actually together and touching. And we're also just going to be figuring out, where we're going to do it, what kind of space do we need. So the whole sequence is a standing yoga sequence. So you don't need space to lie down or anything like that. You're going to be doing the whole thing standing up, so that's quite handy. It's a very compact sequence, it doesn't take up too much space. The other thing that you want to make sure that you can do is that you can lift up your arms either side of you and behind, like up and down behind you as well. Just make sure you're not going to hit anything. So that's kind of what you need space-wise. So you're in your space, your feet are together and touching, and then the next thing that we'll be looking at is your spinal alignment. So we'll just be also closing our eyes and just taking a few minutes to just slowly visualize our way up from the bottom of the spine up to the top. So that's quite handy. Visualization is a really very good tool in yoga, in many things. And then after we've done that, we're going to be looking at breathing. So we're going to stand in that space, we're going to have our hands on our belly, and we're going to just be breathing and seeing what's going on there. There's a lot more to learn about breathing, so it's a fascinating subject. So that's what we're doing. And then we're going to be looking at one of the core phrases that we're going to be seeing in this yoga sequence that's going to be repeating over and over again. So we'll kind of break that down, and then we'll also be breaking down all the different parts of the sequence bit by bit, so that we know what's happening in each part. So that's kind of what's coming. So I'm just telling you what's coming, so it's not too much of a surprise when we actually start doing it. So yeah, the sequence is really good for opening up the chest, and kind of opening up your lungs as well. You're actually kind of really also exercising your lungs, and all of the different joints throughout the spine. We're going to be turning the spine in like all these different directions, nothing crazy, don't worry. So it's a really good sequence. Oh, also for shoulders, really good for shoulders, and stretching the hands out as well, which is also quite good. So there's loads of things happening. Just things to bear in mind. I think if you have any high or low blood pressure, just be careful if you start to notice that you're getting a little bit dizzy at any point or anything like that. Just please stop. We're also going to be doing a lot of raising our arms up above our head, which does also put a little bit more strain on the heart as well. So just kind of be careful, and if you notice any kind of discomfort or shortness of breath or anything like that, then please just stop. So that's the only things. So just take care of yourself. But it's a very safe sequence, and it's one that I kind of feel comfortable giving by video, because it's just hopefully all of the movements are like very clear and straightforward. So hopefully there's not too much room for confusion. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything coming up, just let me know. I'm happy to answer. It's one of my favourite subjects. And then just one more thing that I wanted to add, which I forgot. So I said this is a video series, so we've got 3 videos in total. So we've got this one, then the next one, which is going to be where I kind of go into everything in a bit more detail, and then there's going to be a third video as well, and that's just got the sequence running through from beginning to end and not really stopping. So in that video there's no time to really stop and explain what's going on, so the second video is to kind of basically break everything down and make it hopefully really clear. So yeah, kind of put together a little edit of, there's a couple of like not very smooth edits because I'm still figuring this all out, but yeah, so that's what's going on. Yeah, so the next video is kind of a slower, kind of more technical breakdown. Don't worry so much about matching it with the breathing and everything, and then the third video is the one that you can just use when you're, if you want to just like do this once a day, you can just press play on that one and it just runs through it. So that's the idea. Hopefully it's going to work.